Hi everybody, so today we're going to be doing our multicultural relationship video, and I wrote down a series of questions that I'm going to be also answering and asking my husband, so you guys can get more of an idea of what it's like to be in a multicultural relationship. What culture are you, or who do you identify with?
Well, I am 100% Somali. That's, East Africa.
The Horn, to be exact.
Don't know, land of the poets.
Your tribe. Do you want to say your tribe?
Lel Kase. Now, Lel Kase means the ones who know the night. So, it's a pretty cool name,
No, I didn't know that's what it meant.
Yes, that's what it means.
It's probably because they're so dark. I'm just kidding. The culture that I identify with mostly is Jamaican culture. However, half my family is white. So, how is it being in a multicultural relationship?
It's fun, man. It's I like making fun of you. Especially when she gets mad, she goes into her, that's when her patois comes out. You know what I mean? One of her pet peeves is when my boy comes over and he
left the chair in the middle of the room and don't put it back which part him get it from, and then next morning me have to come take it up like me a puppy show.
Right, how am I supposed to understand that? Dabba dear.
That's how he interprets it.
That's my rendition of patois.
Anyways,
Dabba dear.
What's the hardest thing about being in a multicultural relationship?
Oh man, when we're outside or something, or we're on the bus or something, and I want to tell her something in private, I can't speak the same language. I can't speak Somali to her because she doesn't know Somali. So, we have to come up with different slang and different ways of communicating when we're in public. If we want to keep it private.
For me, the hardest thing about being in a multicultural relationship is, I guess, not being able to share some of the sentimental things from my childhood. Being from Jamaica, I guess he wouldn't understand, and he doesn't eat the same types of foods that I love to eat. No vegetables, no fruits. So what's that? 90% of Jamaica's food is gone, so I can't even share with him that sentimental love that I have for Jamaica. That's the hardest thing for me.
You have to search up Greta cake. There's Greta things, then Greta cake. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, what's the easiest or the best thing about being in a multicultural relationship?
Our daughter, man. She's cute. Best of both worlds, you know what I mean? There's so many people on this planet. 7 billion people on this earth. Each of them with an individual point of view. So that's 7 billion different points of view, you know what I mean? And honestly, I feel like the more diverse of a view that, you can match yourself up with, the more, I guess, your scope will widen. You just see a lot more, you know what I mean? So,
except
nice.
When you don't like Greta cake. The thing for me about being in a multicultural relationship is that the fact that Somalis are 99% Muslim means that a lot of their culture has to do with Islam. So even there are some things that are cultural and not Islamic about Somali culture, but most of the things are actually Islamic. So I feel like I learn more about Islam through their culture, and yeah, that's the best thing. What was it like meeting my family for the first time?
Well, first I met your mom first.
My mom's a Jamaican one.
Yes, your mom's a Jamaican one. I met her first, and she was cool. Then I met the whole.
What was she doing? Protesting on Parliament.
She was protesting on Parliament by herself.
That's my mom. In the winter.
You know what I mean?
She's a feminist.
Yes.
She's a feminist guy.
First time I met everybody in the fams was Christmas dinner, 2010.
And Christmas dinner was held at my grandma's house. This is my dad's mom, so this is mostly my white side. Yeah.
So we had it was good, man. I don't know if it was good because of the company, or if it was good because that was the first time I had turducken.
Turducken. It's turkey stuffed with duck, stuffed with chicken. Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
So good.
Oh, 3 different meats. You slice into it, you get 3 different meats, and that was the first time I had duck meat, and it's soft and succulent. Oh, I'm getting hungry.
Okay, so that was the first time he met my family.
Tasty.
Yeah, the first time I met his family. Okay, well, I guess it's your mom first. I think. No, I met
my
your
dad.
mom?
No, my dad first.
Oh. Okay, the first time I met his family, I guess I was intimidated. I don't know. It was good. they knew that I wasn't Somali. So maybe I felt a little bit intimidated because I think it's more of a Somali culture for the man to want to get married to a Somali girl. But so I guess I was a little bit intimidated, thinking that they might not accept me because I'm not Somali. But I just went in there with an open mind and hoping that they would have an open mind too. And they did. I love his parents very much, and I'm very happy to call them part of my family now. The most important thing to recognize if you're going to go meet somebody, your husband's parents, and they're not the same culture as you, is that your husband, boyfriend, whatever, loves you for who you are, and if he loves you, then they should respect that, and you don't have to try to water yourself down for anybody. That's what I think.
Because, I mean, if you're going to try to, like, sugarcoat things or hide things, I mean, at the end of the day, the truth is going to come out, you know what I mean?
So you might as well just go in.
You might as well be upfront, you know, from the from the jump, so, yeah.
And his mom even makes fun of me, too, and I make fun of them all the time, so it's all good.
It's nice.
So, did you expect to marry a Somali, and what are the pros and cons of marrying outside your race?
I never expected to marry a certain type. Okay, no. I probably did expect to marry a Somali, but I never had any restrictions around anybody else, you know. So whether you were white, other type of black, Indian, Asian, whatever, you know what I mean. I didn't have any restrictions. I probably thought, you know, in all probability that I was gonna marry a Somali, but you know, it didn't happen that way. It was cool.
Do you think there's a con of not marrying a Somali? What do you think the con is of not marrying a Somali?
I don't know.
Did you ever expect to marry a Jamaican? Did it ever cross your mind?
Yeah, I guess. Crossed my mind. Yeah.
Did I expect to marry a Jamaican? No, definitely. That was never in my scope.
Oh, Jamaican.
I never wanted to marry a Jamaican because I grew up in Jamaica, you know, I know what Jamaican men are like. And I'm not saying that all Jamaican guys are the same, and now that I've met more Jamaicans than maybe I would have. No, I didn't have an open mind about Jamaican men at the time that I was considering marriage, and I didn't want to marry a Jamaican because I felt like they weren't faithful to their peoples, and I never saw a Jamaican marriage really work out. So did I ever expect to marry a white guy? No, not really, because I thought that since I identified more with my black side, then I think that was who I would be more compatible with.
Once you go black, you don't go back. Honestly, like, my parents raised me in a way very anti-racist, you know what I mean? It's not the color of your skin, but the contents of your heart.
That's an Islamic trait.
And that's an Islamic trait. So when I was announcing to my mom, she was the first person I told.
I remember that thing.
When I was announcing to my mom that I was getting married, the only thing she wanted to know was if she was Muslim. And I said, hell yeah. Or heaven, yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, that's all that mattered, you know what I mean? So race wasn't a big issue as long as she was a good person.
Outside my race, my family is biracial by nature, so I guess they did. I don't know if they had any expectations of me to marry whatever would be considered inside my race. So the fact that I brought home a Somali, I guess no one was really surprised. Like, I don't think they expected me to marry a Somali, but they did not expect it, so it wasn't a big deal. They didn't have any expectations that got broken down. That's what I meant to say.
Definitely not going to be partial to any specific side. I'd actually like for both the Jamaican and the Somali side to have equal influence, and really let her decide if she wants to go more Somali or more Jamaican, if she ever wants to decide that, or if not, whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter really. What's more important is how, like, Islam, you know what I mean, the deen wise, if that she has good morals, she has manners, she is strong and confident. We teach her, and in turn she'll become confident with the knowledge that she has. She's an understanding person, empathetic, kind, polite, like all those things. That's what's important, and it's not about the culture. You know, that's the culture is fun. You know what I mean? It's where we come from. You know, but we're all going somewhere.
Exactly. Okay, for me, Am I partial to any race? I have to be partial to my own race because I'm very, very patriotic, and I really admire patriotism no matter what culture you're from. So Kamal is a very patriotic Somali. We have a Somali. So, and I have Jamaican flags everywhere. So we're both very patriotic people. So as long as our daughter is patriotic, knowing that she comes from somewhere, it can be either Somalia or Jamaica or a mix of both. As long as she knows that she comes from somewhere and she has a sense of belonging, I think that's what's most important. Did our choice in names get influenced by our culture?
Well, I named my daughter after my auntie, so it wasn't really her.
He told me that he wanted to name her after his aunt since before we were even married. So I guess her name had already been picked out for her before she was born, and I was okay with that. And I want her to have an Islamic name, so I suppose in a way it's influenced by our culture because I wouldn't give her a traditional Jamaican name because it's not Islamic.
To that extent, yes, it was influenced by culture. The fact that we wanted an Islamic name. But I wasn't even thinking of that. Really, it was just after my auntie. I loved my auntie, you know what I mean? I still love her, you know? And she was always the nicest one to me, you know? Yeah, you know? So I named her after my auntie, Anissa.
Do we have any advice for people entering into multicultural relationships / marriages?
Don't focus on your differences. Focus on your similarities, because we have a lot more in common than we are different. The only thing that's different may be the skin and the language that you speak, but we're all human at the end of the day, and we all have hearts that function in pretty much the same way. So we have to be sensitive to that. And yeah, that's my advice.
My advice is you have to be honest, you have to be open, you have to communicate. If there's something that your partner's not doing, then you have to let them know that they're not doing something right, or you want them to do something differently. You have to compromise. I think that's the biggest thing about being in a multicultural relationship is compromisation. Is that even a word?
Compromisation.
The ability to compromise. So I think that's a very big factor in whether or not a relationship will be successful, because you can't be stuck in your ways. You can't be stubborn.
You have to be able to, sacrifice.
Yeah, and give and take,
Give and take, yin and yang.
I think that's just relationship advice in general. It's not even anything to do with multicultural relationships. So yeah. Above all, if you're putting Allah first, then that is what should matter first. Both of you guys should be working towards deen and not really towards culture, because no man is better than another man except through piety and good deeds. Do you face any sort of animosity from Somali girls that you didn't marry a Somali girl?
No, actually, because I to tell you the truth, maybe it's because I don't pay attention to people who show animosity towards that, or maybe it's because I don't even hang around people that would show animosity towards that, or maybe it's just that people haven't showed animosity.
My culture wasn't. I guess when I went back to Jamaica, people don't really know what Somalia is. Somalis are.
They describe.
They just think they're Indian. That's what they say. They have soft hair, soft skin. They're Indian. They don't care about nothing.
So they're black and nice, right?
Yeah, that was
what they said.
Black
and nice.
So I told them that they're close to Ethiopia, and that's how they look like, and they know Ethiopia. So that, I guess, is it for our multicultural video. And I just wanted to add something just for my vlog's sake, that I've been getting a lot of inbox requests for people to hook them up with either Jamaican Muslims or Jamaican female Muslims, like Jamaican male Muslims or Jamaican female Muslims. Listen, okay, this is not a matchmaking site, and I'm not hooking anybody up. So please don't send me those messages. I don't know any other Jamaican Muslims. I don't hang around with Jamaican Muslim guys, so I don't know. And you're gonna have to. There's a website, isn't there? Like halfardeen.com, I think, matches. So go check out their website, because I'm not a matchmaking site. So that's all for today, guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
You know what I mean? I've always liked girls from the islands, the Caribbeans, you know what I mean? I always like that.
The Caribbeans?
Caribbeans. What?
One Caribbean.
One Caribbean?
Mm-hmm. There's no Caribbeans.
The Caribbean girls.
Yeah, but you don't call them the Caribbeans.
What do you call them?
Caribbean girls.
Caribbean girls? So what if I just want...
Caribbean girl.
So if I don't... Okay.
Come on, you're too far. It's my show.
Alright, outside.
Okay.
Tell him. Chill.
Anyways.
It doesn't even look good.
It's pink. It's pink and white. What's not to look good about
That
that?
wasn't pink.
It
That was
was
some
pink.
dark brown
Light. Come on.
acorn looking.
Are you Greater cake is pink. Greater cake was
yo,
the pink coconut one. Maybe you're talking about the drops. That was the peanut. That's what
I'm
he's talking about. Drops.
Oh my god. That you need to drop that from your habit, you know what I mean? That's what you need to do. Goodness.
Okay, alright. Back on topic. So alright.
You see the abuse? Don't get into a relationship like this one, man.
Okay. Anyways. Okay.
What is this? Don't look it like this? You know, I'm a Jafakin. You know what I mean? For real, I'm proud.
What was the reaction of our families that we were marrying outside our races?
What the No. Hold on, is this straight?
Tugs.
A thug minus the T.
Okay, it's gonna make your face look dark.
It's all good, Joe. I'm a ninja.
Okay, what should I call this video?
Culture differences. I don't know. Cultureships.
Culture ships.
Relationships.
You're too far. Stop. Put on your normal face.
Mixed culture. So are we recording right now?
Yes, we're recording.
Okay.